Hat-Tricks fans, I'm here with head coach Lenny Caglianone for the 5th edition of Caglianone's Corner. Lenny, we're 3 games into our 5-game homestand. Just want to start things off with recapping our series with Rochester, split that weekend. Tell us about the positives you saw on the team that weekend.
Yeah, I think going back and looking at Rochester, I definitely think we took strides north. I threw another system at them that we haven't had time to really invest in. And I thought it was executed well enough to give us an advantage. I thought discipline started to rise as well. I thought we removed some deficiencies from our game. I think the overall macro perception of that series was that, listen, we came in, we executed, we were disciplined, we reinforced systems, we reinforced all the details that we needed to, and it gave us a successful 120 minutes. I actually thought we played better on the Friday contest than on the Saturday, which we wound up winning. But, I mean, listen, at the end of it, it's just, I was very, very happy, and I'm never going to condone losing or anything of that nature, but I was very happy with the strides that we took. Again, for myself and the rest of the staff, we have to identify the small battle wins, right, and the strides that we take from a macro perspective. And I thought we did just that in that series.
And this past Tuesday, we went against New Jersey for the first time of 6 meetings this season. Obviously, didn't go our way, but tell us if there was any positives that you saw from the team that some folks might not have.
Yeah, I think you look at the hot start that we had. I thought within that 10 minutes we insulated ourselves, but again, discipline and consistency, we were able to stack shifts, and it was in part to the investment of what we talk about in practice and the standard that we have in that room. But then comes the immaturity factor, which we've highlighted many a times before when you and I talk, and we understand that it's a process, and we understand that it's going to take time, but it seems to be too much of a comfort zone, an area for us. We get up 2 goals, we're completely controlling the conversation, and then we leave a little room for them to get in, right? And then it's the blood in the water mentality. We start to taste it, they start to taste it, someone's going to take advantage and control the situation, and unfortunately for us, we don't. And that comes with the lack of experience, the lack of maturity. And you know, I think it's super important to be transparent and highlight the things that are thorns in our side. But the hot start was great for us, right? I'm not going to take that away from them. Then the unwillingness to roll over and accept and die in the third period was also great as well. But unfortunately, it was a little too late. But pockets of that game did see flashes of what we saw in Rochester, right? So if you want to be a silver lining type guy and still be optimistic and positive, you could look at those. But we tend to be realists here, and unfortunately that performance was unacceptable and not up to our standard. It's just not what we want, what our culture is, and until we learn how to combat that, it's going to live there.
And this weekend we play against the Northeast Generals for the first time this season in a weekend series on Friday and Saturday. What's kind of the mentality going into this weekend?
Yeah, I think we could sit here and try to put a temperature on every weekend that we go into, or try to have this, an idiom or a saying or anything of that nature. It's just, you have to understand the maturity aspect of this game is at the forefront, especially within our room, considering we are young. We have to take strides collectively as a group and as individuals to ensure ourselves that we are able to complete a full 60 or close to it. And I think that's where we're falling short right now, is we don't have a full 60 in our repertoire. We have pockets of 40 minutes or pockets of 30 minutes. Going into Northeast is just consistency and maturity. That's it. The tools live in this room to be successful. It's my job and the rest of the staff to handle this process carefully, to be attentive to details, and when those details fall within individuals' on a macro and micro level, it becomes straining mentally and emotionally, right? And that's why we're in the driver's seat as a staff, and we have to make sure that we do our job in that regard. But listen, it's tough. It's tough, but we will get there. Positivity is key. Being optimistic is key. Making sure that we are constantly in pursuit of knowledge to be better is key. And we need to double down on who we are. And I will consistently say that. It might be repetitive and redundant, but always go back to what made you get to this point, right? And then you start to peel the layers back, whether it's positive or negative. There's always something there at the core of it. So to answer your question in a micro sense, maturity and consistency is the key.
100% well said. And fans, you can catch the Hat Tricks on their final 2 games of their 5-game homestand this weekend, starting on Friday, October 11th against the Northeast Generals at 7 p.m. You could also stream it on NATV if you're unable to make it. And once again, Lenny, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.